Welcome back, YouTube. Welcome back to the Drama Experience. It's your boy Dan.
And I'm Tay.
And we're back with another video. We're still in the Gambia right now. In this video, we're going to talk about my experience marrying outside of my culture. That's what we're going to get into. So I'm going to give you a little insight of my cultural background, where my parents from, which makes me what I am. So first, my mom is from Gambia too, born and raised. And my dad is born and raised in Gambia. Two different tribes. My mom is a Manika and my dad is a Sarahule, a Sonike. I'm gonna say Sonike. And the caste, there's also a caste system in Gambia, and the caste system that they add is the Hore, which is at the top, right? For my Gambians that's watching, please break down the caste system in the comments if y'all know it. You know, I know it, but right now I just can't break it down. But I just know that Hore is at the top. With all that being said, all that makes me is everything that they are, right? Both my mom and my dad, they migrated to the US and had 5 kids, which I'm one of them, and I'm the oldest, which makes me the Soma, right?
The Soma, yeah.
Yeah, first boy. I'm the first boy, which I am, the Soma. So, and they had me, and now I'm here, and I'm a Gambian American.
So, I'm African American, Black. My family is from the United States. I have a very southern family. My parents were both born in South Carolina. My parents didn't know each other down south, but when they met in New York, right? My grandmother had 5 children, and my mom only has 2 children, and my parents together, my mom and my dad, only have me. My family is very small. Everyone in my family, with the exception of me, because I converted, they're all Christian.
So, let me explain to you what it is to be a Gambian Sonike and a Muslim at that, right? So I'm gonna say it like this. My parents, they have expectations because my culture is very strict and strong because they want to keep the culture alive, you understand? They want to keep it for generations, and they think that if you marry outside the culture or marry somebody that don't have no culture or whatever it is, they think that you're gonna lose it and it's just gone, you know what I mean, to the generations, for the generations that's coming next. If anybody that is Gambian that's watching will understand where I'm coming from, it is not easy to marry outside of the culture. We faced a lot of obstacles, right? But we was able to overcome these obstacles because of love.
And God.
And God too, yeah, God definitely played a factor.
Yeah. Me
being a Gambian American, you know, I mean, the culture's there, but it's not like something that I'm like, oh my God, you know, it's there. I understand it. It's not gone, it's there. Some of the rules and the regulations that they have, or the way they want things to go as far as marriage was not what I had in mind at all. Me being a Gambian American, you know, I was raised around the American culture. That's what I know. I still know my African culture no matter what, but the American culture definitely overshadows the Gambian culture no matter what. This is where I was born. When I first met my wife, I didn't think about, oh, yo, are you a Soninke, or are you a Hore, or are you a Gambian or African? I didn't think nothing like that. I solely went for who she was, you know, her heart, her mind, and we started vibing from there. Started dating, you know, the dating process. Eventually, not eventually, but it went up to like 5, 6, 7 years. We've been dating for a very long time. You know, after that, you know, you start considering like, okay, maybe this is the person that I want to be with for the rest of my life. You know what I mean? It was not a big thing for me to tell my parents, oh, I'm seeing this girl and I really like her, I love her. And it was not a thing for me to do at all. So the way it happened is like, yo, I'm talking to her. If y'all know, y'all know. If y'all don't know, whatever. But as things progressed and time started coming, and we started growing more love for each other, you know, marriage was the next step, you know, in a relationship, right? I made that step and told my parents, like, yo, listen, this is the person I want to marry. Let's do it. But this when obstacles started happening and started coming. They're like, wait, is she African? I'm like, no. Is she Muslim? I'm like, no. So she's none of that? I'm like, no, she's Black and she's an American, you know what I mean? And the first thing when they hear that is like, it's not a good thing for them. I don't know why. maybe I can explain, but I didn't understand that, especially as a Muslim too. Like, it don't matter who you marry. You can marry anybody. That's they was overly on the culture. I mean, the religion thing. But as a Muslim, you can marry anybody, any religion you want. As a Muslim man, you know, it could be, and it just got to be a person that believes in one God. That's all. Yeah. So they was giving me pushback. It was like, well, not really like push. They was giving me kind of a pushback, like, wait, she's none of that. Like, this is what you want to do. You sure? You know, we know that we want you to marry a Gambian or African in general, that's Muslim, this and that, blah blah blah. And me and Tay never talked about her being converting or anything at that time. After that time, it was kind of like a lot of pushback. Time started going, and I feel like the time was being wasted. And I started talking to my other family members, right? I started asking for help, like, yo, how can I go about this? This is the person I want to marry, and I know that y'all not used to this. This is something like maybe a little foreign to y'all, but this is who I want to marry. And I talked to my aunt, and she directed me to my uncles, and they told me what to do. And in the midst of that, Tay came to me and decided that she wanted to convert to being Muslim, right? So in my mind, I'm like, wow, we never really talked about it, and this is what she wanted to do. It made me even like, nah, this is definitely who I want to marry, because this is somebody, obviously, she paid attention to the religion, and the culture, and she know if marriage is the next step, she probably think it would be best for her to become Muslim. She don't have to. This is not something she has to do at all, but she decided to do that, and I respect her for that. So I'm like, okay. So she directed me to my uncle. I went to my uncle. My uncle said, okay, this is what you want to do. We're going to meet this girl, right? And I'm like, y'all going to love her, you know? Y'all going to love her. Despite whatever y'all think, y'all going to love her. And the first day they met Tay, they fell in love with her. And after that, the process went so much smoother.
I met his uncles. So they were just talking to me, you know, just getting to know me and stuff. He was like, I want you to meet my brother. So then we left his house and we went to his brother's house. So I met more uncles, and he was just explaining like Dempo's cultural background and stuff to me. And you know, I was not offended by any of these things, because I knew that like people know what they know, you know. Like even for me, I'm black, you know. If I brought maybe an Asian or a white person, and my family is a Southern family. My grandparents, and my family's an older family, right? My grandmother was born in the 1930s. So for me to be black and have the experience that my family had, my grandparents had growing up in the South, and then bring a white person in my house, it would be like, whoa, like, you know. So it would be like, wait, what's going on here? Like, they would never expect that, and it's not nothing less of the person. The person will be a beautiful person. They don't know it, but it's just who they are. They're just like, wait a minute, we know black. We don't know nothing else, right? Yeah. So I was not offended by it, because it was less about who I was. It was more about what I was, and it was just different. I met with the uncle, and he was so nice. We met everyone. He was telling me about the culture. He was telling me about the religion. He had knew I was interested. I had been interested in converting for a long time at this point. I just never did it. He was telling me, you know, you don't have to do it, and I knew that already. He was like, you know, he was like, you don't have to do that, and I was like, yeah, I know. It's something that I want to do for myself. And he was like, all right, so we want to go talk to your parents. Yo,
so that's it. That's what it was. And then they basically went to her parents, like, yo, like, this is this guy, Dempo, going to marry your lovely daughter.
My parents knew Dempo from They knew Dempo before we were even dating. They knew Dempo as my friend because he broke my cell phone in high school.
What phone do you have though? Let's get into it.
A G1.
She had a G1. Yo, that's how long we've been together. She had a G1. If anybody remember how old is a G1, well, I got her new one though. That's the type of person I am.
No, I used to break phones like crazy, and my father would always go buy me another phone. So he just bought me this phone, and I think like 2 weeks later, the phone was broken. So my father looked at the phone. He said, "You basically like forget you. Like you're not getting another phone."
Yeah.
And I said, "No, my friend broke it. He gonna buy me another way." He was like, "What?" And I was like, yeah, he gonna buy me another way. He thought like it was a joke, but I did got another phone.
Yeah.
He went and he brought it to my job. He bought me another phone. We went to high school together. We went to prom together. We graduated high school together. My parents was at the graduation. My mom was there when we went to prom, right? Mm-hmm. So even the whole time, like through college and stuff like that, if I had family, baby showers, Thanksgiving, things, Dembo will always be there, so everybody knew him. He was Dembo. Everybody know Dembo. Like, you know, it was so. I don't think like my parents had any hesitation about it because they had a lot of time to get to know him.
Yeah.
A lot of time to get to know him. Once his uncles came to present themselves to my family, they was like,
cool. It was so cool about it. Even though you probably think in the back of your mind, like, okay, what are they gonna? I still had the thought in my mind, like, what are they gonna say? You know what I mean? They could say no.
So basically, once my parents like accepted, the ball rolled and it rolled quick.
It rolled quick.
Yeah, like it was just like I was just in the family. It was just like, come on.
Yo, girl.
It was like, come on, girl. Come over here, girl. Like, what?
Yeah.
It went quick, like.
Yeah, it went quick. I ain't gonna lie.
It went from 0 to 156.
Yeah, not even 100.
156.
Things started rolling. Everybody was like, "Hey, welcome to the family." You feel me? But my parents was just like loving her. Like they loved her. After everything started rolling, my mom, my dad, my sisters. So I never really asked them like how did they feel about after the marriage? What did they expect? Maybe even before, right?
Yeah.
And what they expect after the marriage?
Yeah.
And through my experience right now, I know they loving it because it's like they talk to her more than me. they make sure she's straight more than me. Like I don't know, but that's the whole point of the interview. So we're gonna ask my mom and my sisters if we could still find them.
If we ever find them.
If we ever find them. So just remember we said that. But my mom, we're gonna find her. She's here somewhere in the house. What was their expectation probably before and after the marriage?
Yeah.
Ask them, yeah.
So once the ball started rolling, like Dembo's mom and dad took the marriage process very seriously.
Yeah.
And Dembo's mom wanted to make sure that culturally we went through the whole process even though I wasn't African.
Mm-hmm.
And I was open to all of this because I think like maybe I don't know, but maybe one of the hesitations of like having him marry outside the culture is that the person would not be accepting or be very resistant to the things that they do, and I'm not like that at all. I'm very open-minded. You can take me literally anywhere and I'd be like, okay,
yeah, like very open-minded.
What we doing, you know? So I did everything. Like I know that there's different African cultures, but a lot of West African cultures marriage process is very similar. You know, it's little tweaks here and there. We got married in the masjid. We didn't go.
Yeah, no,
they didn't go.
No.
But we had a male representative. So my family was also very open with this. Of course,
my
family
God.
is like they just like me. They just do it.
Yo,
they love the show.
My
cousin Rodney.
Cousin Rodney pulled up.
So he was the representative from my family. He went to the mosque. My cousin's not Muslim, but he went. He ate the dates. He did everything. So he was the male rep. They had a bride price. They gave it to Rodney. Rodney gave it to my dad. Literally everything, right? Me and Tim were in the house. Some of his aunts had came down all the way from Connecticut for that day.
Yeah.
And we were in the house, you know, just eating and vibing, and we got married at the mosque that day. And then we went through like some cultural stuff. So we had a lot of parties. Let's just say we had a lot of parties.
Yeah, it was like damn. It's like I got married like 4 times.
And
bro.
so by American people were like, yo, you get married again? And I was like, oh, it's just different parties. And some people, I feel like because it started going so fast, everything was like spread out in a weird way. We had like September was our Islamic marriage. Then October he proposed to me. I already knew we was getting married, but you know I'm American, so he wanted to make sure I have a ring. I didn't know when I was gonna get a ring or how that was gonna work. I just knew one day he would get me one. So he had to find a way to do that. He gave me one. And then we had one of the events, and I could put clips because obviously this is years ago. It's 2023 now. And you correct me if I'm wrong. Agenye agere kunyinde. Yeah, so that's the sister's greeting.
Yeah, sister's greeting.
So we had that event in Debo's house.
She's good.
It was packed.
Yeah.
My friends came.
Your sister was there.
My sister, my mom, my nieces, all of my friends and family dressed up in African attire.
It was dope.
Everyone came, and his family greeted me with gifts. So it was kind of like from the husband side of the family, like if they were to throw you a bridal shower.
Yeah.
So they came and they got he presented me with gold and money, and that's a big part of it in the culture. Like the husband needs to present gifts, right?
Something.
So I feel like in your culture, there's not necessarily like a proposal. That's
kind of like the proposal.
Yeah, like this is for you, girl.
Yeah.
So you can go crazy with the gifts. You could give her land. You can buy a car. You could
whatever.
You can go up there, but the gold is very important.
Yeah.
Don't forget the gold. They were going into like 3 o'clock in the morning with these gifts, so it was like a long night. But there's a process for when you're getting married. When you are moving in with your husband, they actually like physically bringing the woman to the man. What I did, I don't know how it works because clearly he don't know, and I'm just gonna tell you exactly what they did to me because it was an abbreviated version of what they would do to someone who was born or grew up in the culture. For me, I came, usually they wash you, someone washes you. I was able to wash myself. Someone braids your hair. I just had like my hair braided, and then we had sombi, which is kind of like rice pudding.
It's like rice pudding.
His sisters and I, we all ate it. Then all the ladies was in the house with me. They dressed me in white, like a white t-shirt with a white lapa, like a skirt and a white shirt, and then like they covered my head, everything white, like boom. Then the imam came. Yeah. Other ustads came too, like even his ustads from his Arabic school came.
So the ustads is basically like
a preacher. Like a preacher. And all of the ones that he's grown up, that seen him grow up.
Yeah.
All his uncles, everybody comes to the house. The ladies are there, the guys are there, and they're basically preaching and giving marital advice and talking to us and talking about us. They were saying really good things about me.
Good things.
Dembo, mom was crying, and Mariama, I think she was crying too. I almost put my money on it that she was crying, but I know for sure that my mom was crying. And then they took me in the car and they drove me to Dembo.
Yeah, you about to say where, but yeah.
They drove me to the house, and before I walked in, they do this thing, but we didn't really do it too much, where the guys that's in the house waiting for the wife to come have to pay.
Had to pay, basically.
They did pay. I don't know how much, but basically the sisters and stuff that's bringing will say, y'all not gonna get your wife until you pay some money, and then the guys are supposed to pay. So they did that a little bit, and then I went in, they washed my feet, they put me to the bed.
Yeah, say
hi.
Look, Ryan went to, look. Okay.
You want to stay?
You gonna stay here and sit
okay, bye.
I think she.
So basically, they put me on the, they sit me on the bed, Dembo's on the bed, and they like clapping and they singing songs and stuff. It's getting good, it's getting good. My mom was there, my dad was there. She wasn't there, obviously. After they brought me into the house, they washed my feet, sat me on the bed next to Dembo. They were singing and dancing and things. It was really nice. And then they took them, the imam and everybody was in the living room. They spoke to him, gave him marital advice. Then they left us, and we had to stay in the house for 3 days. This is like basically your honeymoon. And you're supposed to just have sex for 3 days. Or, well, actually it was only 3 days, but really it's supposed to be 7.
7 days.
7. So yeah.
Get busy for 3 days.
For 3 days.
Well, 7 days straight.
For 7 days, you don't go nowhere.
Yeah.
When you come out, there's a party. There's a small party. It could be big or small depending on it. Mine was small. We were in the house.
Yeah.
I came out 3 days. Came out, party. And that's it. After that, you can have like a bigger reception, or that could be the day of your wedding reception. But things happen quick, and we wanted to really plan things out.
Yeah, for sure.
So we didn't have our wedding until
2 years
2 years later.
Yeah.
So we had a cultural wedding and a white traditional wedding. Our white traditional wedding was in Dominican Republic. We had 40 something people there.
Ooh, I will never forget that day. That was a beautiful day. I ain't gonna lie.
So all in all, that was our process. We got married. Everything went well. I'm still learning a lot about the culture. I've met a lot of people.
A lot of people.
Yeah, I remember everybody. I know some Sonike words, just a little bit. I gotta build up my vocabulary.
Yeah.
But I think if we could just share probably some tips or something like that for like people who are trying to marry outside the culture, or like people who may be experiencing.
I feel like it's simple. I don't want to get too deep into tips. I think it was simple. If this is a person that you really love and you can see yourself being with for the rest of your life, you know what I mean? That's what marriage is supposed to be, I guess, you know. Just stick to it, you know what I mean? Just stick to it. Don't give up, because you know I know how the culture is. They're they're very like how could I explain? They're very strict and stern. They like stern. And they're not used to something or they're not familiar with something. It's like, oh no, you know what I mean? It's like the fear on the other side. They're not with that. They're scared of fear. They're scared of the unknown on the other side, without even trying to try or take a step, or they might see somebody else's experience and try to put the experience on you, not knowing that everybody's situation is different. You know what I mean? So that's the tip I have. Just keep going and just don't give up. If that's the person that you really want to be with, because if you love that person, you know that you just can't give up because of your culture. You understand what I'm saying? Because it's bigger than your culture when it comes to love.
Also, like,
Patience.
you try to be patient and open to meeting other people in the family. Like, I think when what helped a lot for us is that, like, a lot of people in the family like knew me for a long time.
Yeah,
like
my sister,
his sisters, like brothers, aunts, like people know me, right? So it's like also family will say like, yeah, you know, I know this is something different, but I did meet her and she was really great. Like, she's a really good person. He really likes her, like that, you know? So you have to, like, if you have the opportunity to meet people in the family, don't take that for granted. Like, definitely do that, because I think that is very helpful to get to know them so that they can see you, and also be yourself. You want people to accept you for who you are, because you can only be nobody but yourself. So be yourself, right? Like Dembo said, I didn't have to convert. If I didn't want to become a Muslim, I would have just not done it, and that would have just been it, because that's not something that I want to do.
That's
right? So you just have to be honest and open about what you will do and what you won't do, so that your partner knows and that everybody's on the same page.
Everything's transparent. Everybody on the same page. And that's what helped us get through, for sure.
Yes.
Definitely patience. We're here with my mom. I'm just asking her 2 questions. This is the big boss right here. We call her Big Money Fativa. So knowing that Tay was not from the culture, and she's now a part of the culture now, what was you expecting after the marriage?
After the marriage, my little fear was she was not part of the culture. I was thinking that it's going to be difficult for her to adopt our culture, but thank God, alhamdulillah, she became one of the most understanding person I've ever met. And she understands the culture even better than my own child.
Yeah, you can't say that about me, but okay. All right, next question is, how's it been so far for you? Like, the experience, like, how has it been?
So far, so good. She's a blessing to my family.
And that's it?
I have nothing to say but to thank Allah again, once more again, that He blessed me with a beautiful daughter-in-law that one can ever ask for.
Okay. Thank you, Mommy. Thank you very much for your time. And say hello to the YouTube.
Hi, everyone. YouTube.
Yes. Thank you, Mommy.
Thank you. Love you guys.
This is my sister who we've been looking for. I don't know where she was at, but we found her. So I know the question I'm gonna ask you might be a little different, because you kind of knew Tay for a little minute, right?
Yeah.
And how has it been after the marriage for you? I'm gonna just ask you that.
Tay has always been like a big sister to me.
Okay.
And it was just like a big sister to the side, not to the whole family.
Yes.
So now that she's like a part of the family, and after the marriage and everything, is like I can share my big sister with everyone. You know?
Okay.
With you being married to Tay and our religion and culture, I knew it was gonna be tough at the beginning, because our people hold their culture and they're very strong in it. So for them to step out of it, it's like a big thing for them, and it's out their comfort zone. But I knew that once, not the people, but more so family, parents, like, knew who Tay was as a person, because it doesn't matter what religion you are. It's all about the person and the person's personality and who the person is.
Yeah.
So once they knew who she was, I knew they was gonna accept her and love her.
Yeah. Thank you for your time.
Hello, YouTube.
All right, that's my sister. I'm gonna holler at you later. Thank you guys for tuning in to our video. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. I feel like we love doing videos like this because it gets a little personal. Y'all get to know us a little more.
If there's any questions that you have or anything that you want to share, don't be shy. Drop it in the comment section. Thank you for tuning in to the Dry Man Experience.
Catch y'all guys later.